Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Kristen with Monarch Plans, and today I'm just going to be going through the first week of May and doing my budget check-in. So that means I will be looking at transactions from Friday, May 1st through Thursday, May 7th. And I'll just be going through and doing my check-in on this page and then filling out anything in my budget that needs to be updated just based on this first week of the month, and then go through and fill out my sinking funds and spending pages. So as you can see, I do have the binder for my budget planner from Erin Condren. And I just removed the pages. That's kind of my biggest thing with the binders. I can take out the pages and it's a lot easier to write, especially on this page, so I'm not up against the rings or the coil. In case you're using like a Deluxe monthly with a coil, it's a lot easier to write for me when I'm able to like remove the pages. So what I'll do is I'll just quickly talk about this first page, and then I'm just going to move the binder out of the way, and then I'll just have the pages individually. So the biggest thing in the first week in terms of this page, which really just tracks my debt payments, which are in the yellow, my utilities, which are in purple, and then our car type payments in green. The only thing that really happened this past week was I paid a credit card. I paid $350. So that was the biggest thing. I just moved it down here to keep track of how much money I'm paying towards my debt. And that is pretty much it for this page. You can also see that we got paid twice. My fiance got paid on Friday. I got paid on Thursday. So that is it for this page. And so let me just close this and move it out of the way. I am pretty happy with how this first week went. I am still like at home working, so I don't really go out a lot. I don't do a lot of like spending or anything outside the house. So I think that's a lot of the reason why we're saving money. But we'll see how the rest of the month goes. I think things are going to start opening back up, so you never know what might happen. I'm going to leave our income blank. I'm just trying to keep that a little bit more private, but I do have a line item for myself, my fiance, and others. So that's like any money we get by like selling things, or money we get from other people like paying us back for stuff, or whatever. But I am just going to leave that blank for the time being, and then I'll fill that in and have it just be kind of like a personal tracker at the end of the month. So here I filled out my entire budget. I have my fixed expenses on this side. There's a few that are blank. These are gym memberships. And then this is my nutrition coach. The gym memberships I've left blank because it's up in the air whether or not we'll have to pay those this month. We haven't been having to pay our gym memberships just because of the coronavirus situation. So I left those blank. I'll fill them in if we do end up paying them at all this month. And the coach, I'm nailing down the pricing and when I'll be paying that. So I left that blank. Over here, I have entered in all of our budgeted amounts. I left Monarch blank because that is what I'm spending on my business and my Etsy shop. So I'm trying to keep that private as well. So I will leave that blank until the end of the month. And then I will be filling out the actual column as I pay these bills. So for example, I receive the actual statements for my electric, my gas, and my utilities, my water and sewer and everything. So I filled those in. So what I'm going to do is just quickly calculate the difference. I tend to be pretty good at calculating, kind of almost exactly what I need for those each month. But it does get a little bit difficult as we go into summer because my electricity obviously goes up drastically because of using the air conditioner here in Arizona. That's a must. And then our gas payment goes down, I think because our water heater doesn't have to work as hard to heat our water because it's already like 100 degrees outside. So I've just noticed our gas payment goes down drastically in the summer. And our water, we don't have like a lawn or a pool or anything. So our water payment stays relatively level. So that's pretty predictable. Okay, so I've just calculated those differences out and we are positive for all of them. So that is good. And then these other categories, I've just kind of set them up for what I anticipate we'll spend. Dining out and coffee entails like mine and Andrew's dining out. And then we usually get coffee on the weekends. So that includes like 4 weeks worth of us getting coffee on a weekend day. We're not spending anything on the wedding. Everything pretty much has already been budgeted or paid for. So no wedding spending. Andrew's trying to do like a no spend on his project car and his hobbies and stuff. So I budgeted a little bit just in case he gets something. I don't know. I have my allowance. Andrew likes to take out cash for his allowance. So this is cash for pretty much anything he wants to buy, including eating out while he's at work. So it's a little bit hard to track like the dining out coffee versus what he buys with his cash, but I'm not too concerned about like having this category be wrong. This is essentially just like debit card spending on dining out and coffee, and then this, he can spend it on whatever he wants. I won't fill out these 3 at the bottom until the end of the month. And so let me move over to the weekly check-in and do this first week. So on groceries, I went grocery shopping and did my weekly grocery shopping. Andrew went and did like a quick little Walmart run just for a couple things, and then also like a little run to the store to buy like one other thing. So for the week, we spent $87.30. And then on dining out, let me see. I spent $21 to get dinner for both of us one night. Andrew spent about $18 on like lunch for work and a couple snack items. 54, sorry, I'm just adding these really quickly on my calculator. And then we got coffee on the weekend. So we spent $50 this past week on dining out, which our budget's $200, so that's pretty much like right on track, and I'm not anticipating we're always going to be spending that much. 50, 23. Gas, I don't think we actually bought any gas this week. From what it looks like, we didn't have to. I think Andrew filled up like right at the end of April, so we didn't spend anything on gas. We've been saving a lot of money in gas, the past like month or so. And then we didn't do any unbudgeted spending this week. So that's actually a huge accomplishment. I think we usually have at least something. So our grocery budget, so what I'm going to do is take what's budgeted over here and then subtract out what we spent for the week, and then that'll give me what is remaining in the category. So for groceries, we had $450 budgeted. We spent $87.30, so we have $362.70 left. $362.70 for dining out. And coffee, we had $200 budgeted, and we spent 200. And so that's $149.77 remaining. And then for gas, Andrew and I had together, because I'm considering both of us, we had $250 budgeted. So we still have $250, and then unbudgeted, obviously there's not any money, so we don't know what's remaining. So overall, I think we're doing really well for this first week. We'll just have to, I think the biggest one I want to pay attention to is dining out. We go grocery shopping and we buy stuff for every night, but if there's a night where we just are lazy and we want to buy something, we do it. And then it's also kind of easy for Andrew to buy stuff while he's at work, because he works right near like a grocery store, and he works right near like a gas station for like snacks and stuff. So it's pretty convenient for him to go and get something, but we're trying to figure out like snacks and stuff that I can prepare for him while I'm doing my own meal prep and stuff, so that he doesn't have to go, get something at the store. So we'll just see how that goes. So I think we are pretty good. Other than that, let's go over to the sinking funds page. So I will write in what I deposited in our sinking funds for the first week. And then I did have a couple transactions, just a couple, really nothing big. And then I think the only thing I'll put over here on the spending tracker is the dining out that we did, just so I can kind of keep track of what we're spending our money on in terms of the categories that we're trying to pay attention to. So let me do this really quickly. So I put in $6.55 for YNAB. For truck registration, I put in $7.50. For the Edge, I put in $28.30. For Christmas, I put in $41.67. Auto maintenance, just did 20. Home maintenance, it's 60. Date night, 25. Self-care and beauty, 20. Clothing was 50 because I think I'm gonna need to get a couple pairs of pants soon. Dog grooming, I didn't put in any just because $33 is enough for the month. Medical, I ended up putting in 40. I didn't put any into electronics replacement for the time being. And then our honeymoon, I also didn't add any. We're holding off on booking anything for our honeymoon just because how everything's up in the air. And then the cruise, I am adding another $158.81. So that is good for the first week. There's some of these where I won't be adding anything else. For example, YNAB, truck registration, and the other car registration, Christmas, and the cruise are ones where I won't be adding anything else for the rest of the month. Those ones are set in my app to just tell me exactly what I need to add to reach a certain funding goal by a certain date. So for example, we need to pay the cruise off next June, I think it is, or July or something like that. So what my app does is it says, okay, what's the total balance due on the cruise and what date does it need to be paid by? Okay, that divided by how many months we have left is what I need to contribute each month. So it's pretty intuitive. That's how I get these like very exact numbers. Same with like Christmas. I have a funding goal that I want to reach before Christmas. So it's just telling me exactly what I need to put in to my sinking funds each month. So I will continue to add probably to like the auto and home maintenance, date night, self-care and beauty, like these ones that are very variable throughout the month. Kind of in my opinion, in my experience, those are ones that I can kind of throw money to whenever I have some extra. For transactions, I will just put in, I am getting some workout clothes. The amount was $25.34. And I'll just put workout clothes. And then the next one was beauty, and I think this was on Thursday. And that was just for $10. Andrew needed to get some more hair gel stuff, and a few other things for himself. And that is it for sinking fund spending. So what I'll end up doing is at the end of the month, when I reach go through week 5 and I reach this spending, I'll go through each of my categories and total up what is for each category down here. And so then I'll be able to get an ending balance. So that's kind of my plan for the sinking funds. And then spending, I'm just going to quickly go through and put what we spent our money on in terms of like eating out. This would be where I would track like any unbudgeted spending or anything like that. Luckily we didn't have any unbudgeted, so that's good. But what I will put is on 5/1, we we ate out dinner, and that was $21.54. I'm just gonna put dinner on 5, I think it was 5/2, and this was also eating out $7.05, and that was like a snacks, and then 5, I think 4 was the next one. And that was for $10.64, and that was lunch for Andrew. And then the last one that I'm going to write down is on, I think this was 5/3, so they're not in order. That's fine. Coffee, we spent $11. Okay, so those are the only categories I'll be putting on my spending. But other than that, I think that is it actually for this week. So I think we're doing pretty well so far. I know that there are like some bills coming due this upcoming week, which are okay. And then I have done a little bit of, I think I bought like 1 or 2 things that are coming out of my allowance just because I'm filming this like during the weekend. So I know I've already bought a few things that would go into week 2 and would come out of some of these other categories. So I think we're doing well, as I mentioned. You know, I think that it'll be interesting to see where we end up at the end of the month in terms of dining out and coffee and stuff like that. But I will be conscious of that, and then, you know, hopefully we'll be good to go. But anyways, thank you so much for tuning in to this video and pretty much holding me accountable, because that's the purpose of me filming this, is not only to hopefully give people ideas on maybe what they could do for their budget or what might work for them, but it's also a way for me to stay accountable, because it's just that extra layer of thought. You know, when I'm going to buy something, I'm like, would I really want to, you know, put this on my budget in front of everybody? So that's just kind of how my mind works. So it's just kind of an extra way for me to, you know, stay accountable to myself and my budget. So as I mentioned, if you have any questions or anything, you can feel free to reach out to me. I'll leave my Instagram handle. It's always or you can always reach out to me on there or leave me a comment below. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.